Hello families! This week in class we are learning about cause and effect. I wanted to make this video to show you some strategies that you can use to support your students' learning at home. The best piece of advice I have for you is to read with your child at home. This doesn't have to be something that takes up a lot of time. I know everyone has busy schedules, but just reading for a few minutes before bed with your student and talking about the story is going to have such an impact on your child's learning. A good strategy I like to use is stopping points. Pausing as you're reading to ask questions that will get your child thinking more deeply about the text. These stopping points don't have to be on every page. It can be after an important event, at the beginning of the story to make predictions, at the end of the story to reflect on what happened, or anywhere that you feel it's natural to stop and talk. To model these strategies, I will be demonstrating a quick read aloud using the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Numeroff. I will show you how I would use stopping points to engage in a conversation about the story. This is If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Numeroff. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. This is a good place to incorporate a stopping point. Why do you think the mouse asked for milk? This question gets your child thinking. What caused the mouse to want milk? What effect did eating the cookie have? When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. This is one of my favorite questions to ask when reading aloud. What do you think will happen next? You're asking them to make a prediction, which can spark deeper conversation, like, based on what we've read so far, what do you think will happen next? Will the mouse ask for more things? What might he ask for? Let's see what he asks for. Then he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim, so he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. Here we could ask, why did the mouse want to look in the mirror? Asking why a character did something is great for working on cause and effect because it asks them to look for the reasoning. It's also great for building comprehension in a story. What did the mouse notice when he looked in the mirror? This is another great question because it follows a natural progression. We asked why he wanted to look in the mirror, but what was the effect of looking in the mirror? These questions are great for building sequence and reasoning skills. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. What has happened so far in the story? This question is great to use towards the end of a story. It asks your child to think back through the different causes and effects that have happened so far. Talking through a recap or a summary of the story will also help build comprehension skills. If this is a skill your student struggles with, you can help them by asking questions like this. First, the mouse asked for a cookie, and then he wanted some milk. What did he want to go with his milk? If they don't remember, that's okay. Just go back in the story and find the answer with them. That concludes our read aloud. I hope you enjoyed it. To finish off, I wanted to do a recap of some good questions that help kids think deeper about the stories they're reading. The first question I have is, what has happened so far? This question is great for recapping information and building comprehension skills. My next question is, what happened to cause blank? You can fill in the blank with any event from the story that was caused by an action or event. It gets kids thinking about why certain things happened or why characters made the choices that they made. My next question goes along the same lines, what happened after blank? Again, the blank can be filled in with any event in the story. What was the result of that action? What consequences were there? Were they good? Were they bad? My next question, what do you think will happen next? This question gets kids making predictions. They use their understanding of what has happened so far to make a reasonable guess at what might happen next. If their guess isn't so reasonable, it could be an indication that this is a skill they need more practice on. Finally, why do you think blank happened? This is great for when the cause and effect aren't as clearly laid out as they were in our book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. There could be multiple reasons why an event happened, and this question is great to get kids thinking. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you are able to, try out this strategy the next time you read with your student.